Hi again. So this is a harvest knot. And what on earth is that, I hear you say? Well, back in the 18th, 19th centuries, whenever the harvest was brought in, there would have been a dance organised in the village hall or parochial hall, and the ladies at one end of the room and the gents at the other. And the ladies and gents would have made one of these out of two or three, or out of four rather, strands of the wheat that was left in the field. And they plaited this into, and you'll see this is the shape of a heart almost, so into the shape of a knot, a heart, and they would have given it, say a fella saw a good looking girl at the other end of the room, he would have walked up and reached this to her, and if she fancied him, she would have taken the knot and she would have worn it on the side of her dress. And likewise the lady would have given her knot to a gentleman and he would have worn it on his lapel. So it was a lovely thing that dates back quite a while, as I said. Let's see how we can make the harvest knots with you. Okay, so we start with 4 strands of wheat. It's quite important to soak this, soak the strands, not the heads, just the stems of the wheat, for about 20 to 30 minutes before you begin, and that softens it and it'll not crack. So we take the 4, a piece of ribbon, and just tie them together. No fancy knots at this stage, just a double knot, just to keep all your strands together and in one place. I could tie a knot, would be great. Okay, and there we are. And then you take the strands and you open them out, and you have, if you like, a north, south, east and west. So if we take the north and the south and we just cross them over each other, and then the east and the west, and we cross them over each other, and then we're back to north and south, crossing over, east and west, crossing over. Now you might want to have a nice tune playing on your iPlayer for this, because there's not much to do for about the next 10 minutes, but we just cross them over. I'll try and get my thumbs out of the way if I can, so you can see they're crisscrossing, and you're actually plaiting the 4 stems of the wheat. And backwards and forwards, north, south, east and west, and you keep going, and you'll see it starting to drop down in a plait. So if you keep that going, you will eventually finish up with this. And that's your heads, the 4 heads. The stem is now plaited, and you simply put that over and pop it into a knot. And again, you would get maybe a nice piece of ribbon and tie that down. There's the shape of your heart, and the ribbon would tie around there, and you've got yourself a harvest knot. And again, that's great fun. Supervise the children with it and help the children, or enjoy it yourself.